Hey everybody, in this video we'll try to solve another interesting problem which is available in big front-end tab. So let's start with the question. We have to implement a kind of polyfill for Promise.all. So if you guys don't know what is Promise.all, then check out this documentation given by MDN. So Promise.all is nothing but you can perform concurrency, promise concurrency. I mean multiple uh, promises you can perform in a single shot, and for that I mean it's a parallel execution of promises. So here what we'll do, we'll have to pass as an array of promises, and the interesting thing is that though way you have passed all these promises into an array, the result will contain in the same order, right? So here if you can see this p1, p2, p3, there are three different promises, and the order is the same in the result, 3 1 3 3 7 4, right? So we have to implement this promise dot all function in this big front-end dev platform. Okay. But here there are a couple of things we have to keep it in our mind. So here is an interesting example that if it is an empty array, it is it should immediately result. This one, it's a kind of edge case we have to uh, keep keep it in our code while solving. Along with that, we can send directly just non-promise values, and it should give us you know the result also. As you can see here, there are different examples they have given. So we'll try to when writing our solution, we have tried to keep this test cases there to satisfy all these test cases in our code, right? Okay, let's start. So what I'll do, as you guys know, promise all is nothing but it will return you a promise, right? So as it is going to return one promise, so what I'll write return new promise dot promise, right? And in promise, the resolve and reject, these are the two things. I'll keep it here. Yeah. So now our logic will write here. Just a second, it's a typo. Return. Okay. So now what we'll do here, we'll create an array to keep our result, right? Let's write const result equal to an empty array. Now what we'll do, this is the promises array, right? What we'll do, we'll iterate over it, and promises dot map, and what I'll get in that array promise, right? Along with that, I just want to keep index also. I'll explain you why we are keeping it here. Then see guys, in the result we'll keep the promise result, right? Along with that, I want to keep one counter also. I'll explain you why we are keeping this counter. Const, not const, let counter equals to 0. And here what I'll do, see guys, there are different way to solve this problem. So as it's a promise, you will get two things called, if you do promise dot then and dot catch also, it will work. But here if you see, we can send resolve value like directly like this. Along with that, you can send something non-promise value. So it's better to write promise dot resolve and give promise dot resolve and pass this promise. Okay. So here in then what we'll get, we'll get a response or result for that particular promise. And in case of error, we'll handle how this how what it will do, we'll handle it here. So here when we get the result, we'll keep that result, uh, this promise result in this result array, right? But if some people do mistake here, like like they will write result dot push and keep this result or something like that. But yeah, this will not give you in order. Think of that there are three different promises, and one of the let's say last promise is executing very fast because the time that you have given is less there, right? In that case, that will be executed first and it will push into this result. So in promise.all, we have to keep the order of the result same as the order we are giving uh, in the promise array, right? Here we have to keep this same order, right? So better we should write result of I is nothing but this index and equals to what are the result for that particular promise. Okay, yeah. So now we are keeping it. Along with that, what I'll do, I'll increase this counter plus equals to 1. Why I am doing it? Because what I'll check, imagine I have executed all the promises and all of them are success. In that case, what I'll write counter is equal to promises that we are getting. This one promises are promises dot length. That means we have executed all the promises and all of the promises result we have kept in this result array, right? In that case, the simple thing I will do, I'll just resolve the result. That's it, right? Yeah, this is our fulfilled case if all of them are fulfilled, right? But what if one of them is failed? And that's what promise.all is saying. If you go through the documentation, will reject immediately often any of the input promises rejecting. That means if one of them is rejecting, then we'll reject the process, promise process, right? So here what I'll write, then reject, um, reject. But in this reject, we have to send what is making issue. So this error will give you that information, right? So yeah, it looks good. But see guys, one thing I told you in this video, that we have to handle some of the edge cases like this one. If it is an empty array, then we have to it should immediately resolved, right? So here if you see, I mean it will work for here, but I want to just write a extra condition here. If promises dot length is empty, promises dot length is equals to 0, then I'll not do anything. I'll just resolve it, and I'll just send that empty promises array, return it. I mean resolve it. That's it. So let's check now if it is going to work or not. Yeah. So now we can see our our uh, our code is successfully submitted. But yeah, I know you guys have bit doubt here from why you have written promise.resolve, and rather than writing this, we can write promise.then, and it should also work. Yeah, it will work. But I told you guys, in case of this kind of values, it will help you there if you write promise.resolve. Try to write using simple promise like this, and check if it is going to work. But this is the better way to writing this sort of code to handle all those edge cases, right? So thank you guys, thank you for watching.